Hello, gem lovers.
Oh, one moment here.
Hello, gem lovers. Hello, gem lovers.
I'm having a little trouble here. One moment here.
Hello, gem lovers. Hello, gem lovers.
A little trouble here. Here we go. I had a little bit of a glitch going on there for a moment regarding the sound. Normally around this time, we at Artinian Gems do a gem happy hour. But Bailey, my partner in Gem Happy Hour, is not with us today. She is not feeling well. She's a bit under the weather. So I thought what I would do is share some interesting and beautiful gems. I sent out an email to a number of my clients today. I sent out an email that featured alexandrite as one of the most rare and valuable gems in the world. But I thought I would do something also different. I thought what I would do is I would put up a video and show you one of the most inexpensive but beautiful, another really beautiful gem. So I'm going to share with you some pieces of Brazilian dendritic quartz. I mean, what the heck is a dendritic quartz? Well, it's a quartz with interesting shapes on the inside. It has different impurities in there that give it they just give it this beautiful, unusual, artistic look. Now, dendritic quartz is basically a branch of the quartz family. There's silicates, and this beautiful variety of quartz contains fern-like inclusions. You can see they're kind of fern-like. They're in iron, they're manganese, some are hematite, and other metallic oxides that grow in a fractal pattern. So the word dendrite actually comes from the Greek word dendron, meaning tree. I mean, you can see how it says you think it's trees. So let's look at a few of these. Look at this one. Isn't that cool? It just looks like a fern or a leaf or something like that. And now what they do is the cutters will take the piece of rough and they will look at it and analyze it and see on the back there, they cut it. They don't polish that back part. And they cut it so you can see this like this tablet and you can see inside the gem. I mean, these gems are just absolutely unusual. This reminds me of like a Japanese scene painting or something. Isn't that cool? Some kind of iron oxide there. Now the one that I just showed you, I'll just kind of give you an idea, is 25 and a half carats. So I just was weighing that one while I was showing you the other one. This is about 25 carats, 25 and a half carats. And retail price on this one, gosh, let's take a guess at it. It might be like $400. So it's not expensive, but it's one of those gems that you really can do something with. A lot of people will put them in pendants or rings. Look at this one. It looks to me like there's some hematite in there. Looks like some iron, some hematite, but that is a natural scene in there. Let's look at the back. Isn't that cool? You could set that in a pendant, but I like this one too. I spent a lot of time up in the Pacific Northwest where ferns were really common. In fact, I grew up in New Zealand, and it's the national plant. It's the fern leaf. In fact, they've got it on a lot of logos and so on. So the fern is, I love the fern. I used to go backpacking up in the mountains of the South Island of New Zealand, and ferns were everywhere because they have some of the highest rainfall in the world down there. And we'd go out in the mountains, we'd go up there for 3 or 4 days, we'd pack all of our food, go backpacking. But anyway, I don't know how I got on that subject. Look at this one. I'm going to raise this level a little bit. Now, if you've got a question about any of these, beautiful gems, just let me know and I would be happy to answer them. You can answer them on Facebook Live. You can you can ask them on YouTube. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Let's see how much this one weighs. That beautiful pear shape was 16 carats. I mean, so this is something where retail price is like $256. But look at it, you can kind of see right through it. That's the dendritic quartz. What else do we have? Oh, I want to show you something else for fun. You know, a lot of times you see the gems that are they're already cut and everything. Look at this. This is a beautiful piece of amethyst. I got about 20 kilos of amethyst rough from Nigeria not long ago. And you can see, you know, when you're selecting rough, you know, what do you look for? So, you know, what does a cutter look for when they're selecting a piece of rough stone? And they're going to think, okay, now, you know, how do you know a good one? How do you select a good one? And so this is how you do it. You turn it, you look at it, you look for the color center. And you're looking to see, all right, where is the most purple? And obviously you're not going to cut this tip here because it's going to be super pale, but you look for that darker center, and then you turn it and you look for cracks and stuff. You can see right in there where, as I'm shining the flashlight, you can see reflections from internal stuff that's in there. I don't know all what's in there. Sometimes they have these guest crystals and minerals, and they have feathering, and they've got like this wispy cloudiness inside. So what you would be doing is when you're selecting the rough, you're going to be realizing that you've got to cut a lot of that out. And so you're going to find that where the color center is, you want that color center to be in the gem. And it's even bluish. I love some of these amethysts that they even have a little bit of bluish purple to them. And so you've got to like polish, you got to cut all that out. Sometimes you saw it, other times and there's that crystal right there that's inside. That's no good. You got to cut around that. So you might end up with, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 gems out of this. And that's how you do it. Isn't that interesting? Now, people have asked me before, you know, with amethyst, they say, you know, what gives you the color in amethyst? Here's another piece of rough. Look at that one. The camera is making it a little bit more blue than it really is. But you can see here. There's a color center. See how there's a clear area there? Well, you want to cut that so your color center is towards the base of the stone. That way, when it's faceted, all of that color will be thrown all around the gemstone. You look for a window in there to check out, and so you're always carefully eyeing the gem up, because you could end up with a lot of silkiness or a lot of inclusions inside, and then you end up with the material that you can only cut into a cabochon. So, I mean, amethyst is the purple variety of quartz. You've got the dendritic on the turntable there, but then you got the purple variety, it's the silicate oxide. And the funny thing is that it owes its violet color to irradiation. Impurities of iron, maybe, and in some cases other metals. So that gives you kind of a complex structure in there. But because the silicate oxide, the silicate is quite common in the Earth's crust, it's not a super rare gem. But obviously, with any large sizes, they are going to be, and really clean gems, they are going to be rare. Here's another one. There's a small piece here. You'd have to cut this whole section out here and get rid of that. You just grind it down. This one you wouldn't cut it, you'd grind it. This one may not have a lot of yield. This one might be more of a cabochon piece. But anyway, there you have some, a few interesting things there. Let's look at a few more of these dendritic quartzes. I want to show you a few more. I really like this one. Look at that. This is like completely flat. Isn't that amazing? I love this piece. So you might put like a reflective metal on the back, or you could leave it open, just put it in a pendant and leave it wide open. Love that piece. Probably some kind of iron oxide staining or something in there. That's cool. What else do we have? Now, if this kind of thing really charges you up, you can reach out to us at Artinian Gems. You can send us an email. You can go to our website. I'm streaming this live right now on our website as well, artiniangems.com. Look at this one. Isn't this fun? I mean, we support a lot of designers and artisans. Oh, that one's kind of like got almost like a mountain scene in it if you look at it this way. Or, I don't know, roots of a tree going down. What would you call this one? A windswept landscape? Look at that. Dust storm? I don't know. Something very interesting. Now, we support a lot of artisan designers who will take the gems and they will turn them into their own work of art. Look at that. Isn't that fascinating? We love to help designers, artisans, whether you're, we're wholesalers, so we don't sell directly to the public. However, if you like some of these gems and you're a gem lover, you can reach out to us. We'll connect you with somebody in your area who is one of our preferred clients, and they can help you select some gems. In fact, we do a lot of these private one-on-one showings. If you're a retailer, we can do this for you privately with your clients. You can show all kinds of gems. In fact, that seems to be the way things are going these days. People will select their gem through one of our virtual platforms, and then we'll send the gem to the store for their final approval, payment, and a custom design. But you can also call us. Our phone number is 858-679-7633. You can reach out to us by phone. You can send us an email. You can reply to one of our emails. Isn't that cool? I'll tell you what this one is. This one here is 17.39 carats. Yeah. So 17.39 times 16. So that's $278. You can put that in a silver mounting. You could wrap it. You could put it in a fine gold piece as well. A lot of times, these gems will go in a really fine mounting. They will put maybe a gold bezel all around. They'll have thick yellow gold or white gold, and it really, what it does is it turns that gem centerpiece into just an amazing work of art. I was showing you that amethyst. I've got something else here to show you too. I just thought I would pull these out and show you. How do you like that? Look at these beautiful crystals. These are citrines. Isn't that cool? I just love it. Now, what I'm going to probably be doing is we're going to send these off to our team in Thailand, and they're going to cut them. I got these from a fellow who who came through. I didn't go to Uruguay for these, but he brought the rough to me, and I bought quite a bit of it. This is super clear. Let's see how much this weighs. That one is 18.5 carats. So when you think about, people often ask me the question, okay, so you get this piece of rough, how do you know how it's going to turn out? Oops, just jumped. So what I found, there seems to be a pretty consistent number, is that if you cut the gem beautifully, proportionate, everything's perfect, so that it sends the light back to you, it doesn't leak it out the back, causing a window, or have extinction, meaning it's too deep, where the light gets lost inside, you're going to get about a 20% yield from the rough. So really, most of the gem rough is wasted. And it's not because you want to waste it, it's because to cut it correctly, as you see, that would be the culet there. I think this would be a really nice round, wouldn't you? I think this shape is perfect for it. You're going to get probably more than a 20% yield on this one. This would be the table here. So I think this is actually a really, really good shape for a round. Now, a good shape for an oval might be, say, this one. This would be probably the table up here, or the table up here at the top, and then this down here would be the culet down here. You might get a 25%, 30% yield. That first one seemed to be pretty good. Now, there's some really wonky one. Like there's this skinny one here. You're going to get a smaller stone out of that, because in order to cut them correctly, to get, so the light reflects back and doesn't leak out the back of the stone, you're going to have to cut it at about a 42, 43 degree angle, which means you have to cut this smaller in order to get the deeper angle. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a really windowy stone. So that's a little bit, a handful of citrines there that I have. Let's see if we've got any other goodies in here that I want to show before I get on to something else. Because I've got kind of the two ends of the spectrum. Two ends of the spectrum here that I want to show you. Ooh, I love this. Ooh, look at this one. This is very Dune-esque. I just love it. Look at that. Oh, look how the color in this gem. The top is kind of just like the clear quartz, right? And then the back, you can see there's a clear quartz, but when you face it up, it looks like the color is all the way through. There's probably some hematite in there, some iron. But when you look at this angle, it's almost like reflection off mountain peaks or something, with in the distance valleys or mountains or even the sky. Very fascinating. So there's some of some fun dendritic quartzes there. I'm going to remove a few of these. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to just reach out to us. I probably should open up my Facebook to see if anybody is responding to anything here. Let's see. Just feel free to reach out. Yeah, we're here to share gems with you. We're here to share knowledge with you. If you're on YouTube, like our page. We'd be more than happy to share gems with you and help you select something interesting if you want to. We also have lots of content on our YouTube channel. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Those pictures, these scenes in the gemstone. Next, I'm going to show you something. I promised I would show you something very, very inexpensive. Then I'm going to show you something quite expensive. Let's look at one of the. I'm going to turn the lights off here first, because this gem requires a different approach. I'm going to show you something quite exotic. I'm going to put this pad down first, because I don't want the gem on that, directly on that rock. Look at that. This is a super exotic gem. Can anybody guess what this is? It's color change. There it is. See that? You can see it changes color. This is natural light, incandescent light. Natural light, incandescent light. Look at that. Whoa, look at that. Whoa. I'll see if I can put it directly on the, if it changes anything with the optics, if I put it directly on there. Let's try that now. So natural, this gem under natural light is going to look green, and then under incandescent it's going to be a purplish red color. This is alexandrite. This is a Sri Lankan alexandrite. A lot of my finer gems come from Sri Lanka. I love to go there. I have some very close friends in Sri Lanka who I've worked with for many years. Look at this. Look at that. Back and forth. This Sri Lankan alexandrite is a 6.06 carat. Very special gem. Very, very pricey too. This is the type of gem you collect for a, like your lifetime collection type thing. A lot of people these days are putting money into collectibles. I mean, you know, with inflation and everything, it's just kind of made it so that people like to collect things other than cash. They like to have hard assets. Look at that one. If this is something that you're interested in, feel free to reach out. Or maybe you've got a client or a friend who's looking for something to really invest in. Alexandrite qualifies. People often ask me, they'll say, well, what's an investment gem? Well, I wouldn't technically call gemstones an investment, because in my opinion, an investment should be something that you can take, cash it in tomorrow. It's a collectible. It's highly valuable, highly collectible, meaning that if you find the right person, you can definitely sell it. But it's something you want to collect. It's an heirloom. It's something you want to pass on. Kind of like an antique car, first edition book, old book, antiquities, things like that. That's a very, very exotic alexandrite from Sri Lanka. Now, you may not have that kind of money, but maybe you're born in June, maybe you want something really beautiful, but you want something smaller, something practical for a ring. Now, the 6 carat one may not be as practical for a ring, but look at this one. Look at that little oval. I'm going to try to zoom in a little more so you can see inside the gem. Look at that. I'll give you the information on this one. This is a 0.7 carat. Look at that. Also from Sri Lanka. One of the things I love about it is that they have different color changes. Different alexandrites will behave differently. Some will be quite a teal blue, some will be quite a green, quite a bit green, but you really want that dynamic color change. Now, what it is that, Cristobaril is the name of the family. And it's a family of gems. And it's traces of chromium that give you color change in it. If it doesn't have the chromium, then it's just regular Cristobaril, but it's chromium that gives you that color change. The more chromium, the more color change. Look at that red. Look at those reds and purples. This one retails for only $6,700. And this would be something collectible too. This is something that you can buy, you can own, you can pass it on to the next generation, and something you'd be proud to wear. I often liken it to, one day your grandchildren will come in, will after you've passed away or passed it on, one day your grandchildren are going to bring this gem to the store, and they're going to say, "Oh, what did my grandma or my grandfather give me?" And they'll show the set of earrings with these alexandrites in them. And then the jewelry store owner will say, "Oh my goodness, you have a treasure." And that's really the response that we want, is that, "Oh my goodness, you've got a treasure. Look at this pair." We believe at Artinian Gems that gems should be beautiful, gems should be well cut if possible, gems should be rare, gems should be something that you would be proud to pass on. Now there's fashion jewelry, which is great. We love that too. But we're mostly focused on center stones, one-of-a-kind pieces, gems that will retain and increase in value. This is 0.78 carats. This is $8,670 for the pair. That's the retail price. Now, if you are a jewelry store owner, you're in the business, you would get a special wholesale price. You'll have to reach out to me for the details of that. But look at this. Isn't that amazing? I just love that. Look at that under natural light. I just got to see this. I'm going to hold one of them in the tweezers, and then we'll put the incandescent light on it. Natural light, incandescent. Look at that purple. I'm mesmerized by this. My first experience with alexandrite really was through my father. My father was a gem dealer, and he used to go to Brazil. I mean, when I was a kid, I was in my teens when he started doing the gemstones, and he would go away for like a month or two, and then he'd come back with bags of gems, and I was absolutely fascinated to see what he had to offer, what he would bring back with him from these exotic countries. And not only were the gems interesting, but the stories he would tell us. He didn't tell us a lot of stories about his trip, but the stories that he did tell, I found absolutely mesmerizing. And I thought to myself, wow, he has the coolest job. I want to do that job one day. And here we are. Now look at this gem. People think alexandrite color change, right? I got these from Sri Lanka. I got this one from Sri Lanka. And I'm going to show you something with this one. I've got to get my lights going here. It's not alexandrite. So here it is under natural light. See the green, the teal color? Now look at it under incandescent. Look at that. Green, purplish red. Bluish green, purplish red. This is a color change sapphire. I'm going to bring it a little closer. Oh, it's going out of focus. Natural light, incandescent. Natural light, incandescent. Look at that. This is a Sri Lankan color change sapphire. Until recently, I didn't realize that sapphire, until I didn't realize that the sapphire, a teal green, could go to a purplish red. I always saw it as the blue going to a violet. But when I came across this parcel, I was absolutely awestruck that this teal color, almost like a Montana color, could go to a color change. Anyway, I thought that's fantastic. Now, that's a carat 41. Now this single gem retails for only 4,200. So that's, kind of like your Alexandrite alternative. Let me show you this. I actually have a matched pair now. I'm going to show you. I think this is really cool. Look at that. I'll try the two different lights. I'm going to pull one of these and bring it up close so we can actually see it. There's your teal color, and there's some of your purples in there. Your purple, your purplish, your reddish purple. There's your teal, and there's your reddish purple. So there is a color change sapphire. Isn't that fun? Matched pair, perfect for, like your set of earrings. So you could do like a ring and a set for earrings. Look at that. Now this pair is 9,150. It's 3.05 carats. And by the way, these are untreated. And people often will ask me, what do you mean by untreated? And so I want to explain something. When a gem comes out of the ground, particularly a ruby and sapphire, they're often quite what you'd call silky. The color might be a little dull. There might be distracting inclusions in there. And what they will often and routinely do, especially with ruby and sapphire, is they'll put it in a crucible and then they'll heat it. They'll heat it to sometimes almost melting point, but they'll heat it fairly high. And what that does is it sometimes will dissolve some of those crystals that are inside the gem. And then it'll just dissipate into the gem and bring the clarity up. Now, in the case of gems that have the silkiness in it, the silk is titanium oxide, and titanium is one of the blue coloring agents in sapphire. So if you got the silky titanium mineral in there and you heat it, it dissolves into the gemstone. It brings out the blue color. And so 95% of ruby and sapphires have been heat treated. Now that's normal, it's routine, it's acceptable in the industry. However, there's other treatments that are not as acceptable. However, when it's not heated, that is super unusual. Now these gems have not been heat treated. So to me that makes them a curiosity, and definitely they command a price at about 40% higher than regular normal heat treated gems. So let's see, remove spotlight. There we go. Now we're back to the gemstones. So anyway, that is I'll show you another pair here. I'm going to go back to Alexandrite now. I'll just show you something different that you don't normally see. Okay, this is a little Alexandrite pair. A pair of pear shapes. These are really cute. You could put these as side stones. I'm going to turn off the turntable for a second. These could be side stones in a ring. They could be little dangle earrings. Look at that. Now let's get some lights on here and see what it does with the lights. Natural light, incandescent. You can see the purple coming out there, the green and the purple. And back to the sapphires, you can see like the teal color and then this purplish color. So I mean, you could almost think that these were all the same gemstone, wouldn't you? And really what makes them different is their chemical composition, the way the light refracts in them. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Now this little matched pair of pear shapes, half carat. They're 7,790. They're spendy little buggers, aren't they? But I'm telling you, they hold their value. They're extremely rare. Anyway, I was telling you a story, and my dad used to go to Brazil, and he was there in the 1980s. And at that time, this was at the time when they just discovered the presence of alexandrites there. I mean, it had been there all along, but they just realized they were there. And so he was so excited about it. In fact, he has a piece of rough still in a bank vault that's a 110 carat piece of rough. It looks like a golf ball. It's amazing. It's got the dents in it. Looks like it's got moon craters in it. He bought that, and one day that's going to go into somebody's collection. There you have it. So I am going to go back to my... So I appreciate you taking the time today to look at some of these gems. We talked about some dendritic quartz. We talked about gems that are not expensive but make beautiful, unusual jewelry. And we talked about the alexandrite. And we talked about, alexandrite being one of the most valuable and rare gems in the world. They hold their value. They change color based on the light source. And then we also talked about an alternative to alexandrite, the color change sapphire, that teal to purplish color that I just got from Sri Lanka. So if you're a gem lover and you would like more information about what we do, reach out to us. We'll connect you with a retailer in your area. We can send the gems. We could do like a little showing for you. If you're a retail jeweler and you would like to use our resource, we can help you. We can join on a call just like this, and we can customize the presentation to your client, whatever they want to see, whether they want to see rubies or sapphires or emeralds or tourmaline. We have sphene, zircon, especially that blue zircon. I'll talk to you about the blue zircon sometime soon. It's an extremely rare gem now because that mining source is pretty much wiped out now. But anyway, we have tourmalines and all, aquamarines and morganites and other fun gems, all the way down to these interesting quartzes. But anyway, thank you for your time today, friends, and I appreciate you. Reach out to us if you feel like we can help you or you would like to look at more gems, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.